Welcome to the Directors Club podcast, your go-to resource for childcare center owners and directors seeking success at their centers. Each week, we dive into the world of childcare management, sharing valuable tips, tools, resources, and strategies to help you build enrollment, retain top teachers, and streamline your operations. With a casual and lighthearted approach, we tackle the challenges you face from staffing and enrollment to business skills and time management. Join us as we unlock the secrets to creating a thriving childcare center. Let's laugh, learn, and grow together. This is the Directors Club podcast. Welcome to the Directors Club podcast, the podcast that helps you learn the business skills you need as a childcare center director to build enrollment, retain your best teachers, and get your center operating just how you want it. I'm Noelle Dentino. I'm a fellow childcare center owner and active director with my sister Sarah. We operate a successful childcare center in Massachusetts. By merging my background in business with Sarah's background in early education, we found the perfect recipe for a successful center. We have a membership for directors that teaches short training videos with done-for-you business process so you can implement and take action today. When childcare center directors implement these practices, they create the center they always dreamed of, a thriving childcare center community. The Directors Club podcast will provide you with simple business tips to help you get things done at your childcare center. Episode 3, Getting It Done in 15 Minutes. Hey there, it's Noelle from the Directors Club, and I'm here today to talk on this podcast about one of my favorite topics, getting things done. As a child care center director, we often are pulled in so many directions that we put one of the most important things to do on the back burner, the business side of leading a child care center. When we ignore or don't focus on the business side, it can either result in inefficiencies or it costs us money when we don't focus on the business side. Enrollment, classroom consistency, budgeting, hiring, human resources, retention plans, community building, wowing during your enrolling, and cash flow. That's a big one. Your professional development also hurts. You squeeze it in when you can instead of intentionally matching up the needs to up-level your center versus what your business skill set is. Take a moment and think of what you need to get done to up-level your center. Hiring is a hot topic right now. And once we find that great new teacher, we don't want to lose them. How is your onboarding system at your childcare center? If you have something in place, maybe you could spend this time enhancing it. If you don't have anything, imagine what you could do if you created a plan. New employees who feel welcome right out of the gate and don't feel overwhelmed with this transition coming into your center are more committed and stay longer. So you increase the retention of your teachers when you have a plan in place. But how do you even set this up? Who has the time? Where do you start? Well, you start by researching the topic and then doing the work. But how are you possibly going to get all that done? I want you to know that this 15-minute challenge I'm going to talk about, I do it every day. I'm an active child care center director with 114 students, and I also consult for the Directors Club. So it works. Let's just say you had the 15 minutes of uninterrupted time each workday. If you take 15 minutes times 5 days per week, it equals 1 hour and 15 minutes. Let's assume you did this all year. We'll take away a month of potential vacation and maybe time off or covering in classrooms. So an hour and 15 minutes times 48 weeks is 60 hours. What would you or could you do in 60 hours? And I'm just going to say, as a child care center director, you can get a lot done because we do a lot in an hour. Forget about 60. So you could get something done like a new employee onboarding system. And then I know you're going to be sitting there saying, nope, I don't have 15. Noelle, there's no way I can find 15 minutes. And I just told you I'm an active childcare center director, right? I try and find 30 minutes a day to do work focused on my childcare center and up-level it. And ways you can do this is to come in 15 minutes earlier. If you're covering lunches, maybe you start them 15 minutes later and grab that 15. Another thing you could do is schedule lunch for yourself, right? I know, odd concept, but you could try and use 15 minutes of it to up-level your center. You could have someone cover for you for 15 minutes or come in 15 minutes earlier to cover for you. But all I want you to do is find 15 minutes a day. Set your boundaries and tell your team no interruptions unless it's an emergency. And then set the time each day. You can't just walk into a day and say, oh, I'm going to take my 15 and then squeeze it in at some point. Because again, we're going to push that off like we push other things off because we're interrupted all day with all the needs of the students and the teachers, right? But if you said to yourself, oh, from 10 to 10:15, I'm going to spend my 15 minutes, shut off all my distractions, I'm going to set a timer, and I'm going to get things done, you're more likely to do that. And you're more likely to gain that 60 hours in the next year that you could focus on some amazing things for your child care center. In 1 week, though, think about just this 1 week. If you spent 15 minutes to move your center forward, to set that thing up that you always wanted to, but never had the time, right? Have you taken that class that you were thought in the class, oh, that was the most amazing class, I'm going to do that at my center, and it sits in a folder on a shelf or in a drawer? That's time to pull it out. At the end of an entire month, you'll have spent 5 to 6 hours on a project that could make your center better, reduce your overwhelm, build enrollment, or even retain your best teacher. The possibilities are endless. I challenge you today to start the 15-minute challenge. Commit to what you want to get done, and let's do this. I want to thank you for listening this week. I know it's an important topic and one that many directors struggle with finding time to move forward or educate themselves on things that can move their center forward. Thanks for listening this week. I know that this is such a hot topic, and I want you to find your 15 minutes, and I also want to help you. So if you find your 15 minutes and you've decided that you're going to spend it working on an employee onboarding system, I want you to head over to my podcast notes, and you can download, I have a link there to download 12 steps to successfully onboarding your next new teacher. And that's going to give you a head start on setting up your program for your child care center. I think it's so important that we do come up with an onboarding system. I think it does dramatically change your new employees' commitment to your center when they feel welcomed and there's a scheduled plan. So I want to thank you again for listening. And if you enjoyed this episode or found it helpful, I'd love you to leave us a rating and give me a comment. That helps me know that I'm providing you the content that you need to help you lead your center now. I hope you have an awesome week, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Thanks so much for listening. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of the Directors Club. We hope you found tips, tools, and strategies valuable for your childcare center. To access even more resources and take your center to new heights, visit our website at thedirectorsclub.net. There you'll find a wealth of exclusive content, training programs, and support tailored specifically to childcare center owners and directors. Don't miss out on this opportunity to unlock your center's full potential. Remember, success starts here at the Directors Club.